Hey everyone, this is Brian, KGB Glass, checking in Portland, Maine. Thanks for coming to this stream. This should be really cool. What I'm going to do today is make a donut pendant from start to finish. If you have any questions, shoot them out. Myself or Sarah will try to answer them as we go. I want to thank Grassroots, Ruga, Nikki, Max, the entire team for setting this up. This is really cool. I've never done anything like this, so kind of just, going on the fly. But this seems like a really cool opportunity for you guys to see what I do, and I get some company, in these crazy times. Cool, so yeah, I think I'm going to just get right into it. And so the donuts are all borosilicate. Today I'm going to start with a piece of 50 by 5 clear tubing. And what I'm going to do is coil pot some color and drop it into it. So that's how I make the dough. So I'm going to do that right off the bat. So I'm going to take my piece of clear that I already have pulled off of that tubing, and I'm going to flare it open right here and start my coil pot. And I'll give you guys a little tour of the studio after the demo, show you some cool stuff. It is definitely time to make the donuts. What's going on, Liberius? Yeah, and like I was saying, these are really crazy times, and I'm just so thankful that I still have glass as an outlet, that I can still come here and create. I'm just so thankful for that, because it's really what's always kept me sane, even when things are good. It's very meditative for me. So, yeah, very thankful I can still do this. So I'm just going to pump this out a little bit. See, that's about 50 millimeter. Just going to puff it out and open it up. And then this will be in this case, many donuts. So I'm going to stretch it down. You puff out for the hole. And now I'm just going to use gravity to open up this whole point. And as you can see, just giving it these little spins opens it right up. So I'm just going to open this right up. Bam. So now, I'll let this cool. You can see that's just red hot. And that's really how you work with glasses. You can't touch it, so you're just looking at it and feeling it. And the color of it will tell you the temperature. And that kind of tells you what to do with it and what it wants. Let's see, what's your favorite donut that you've ever made, and did you keep it for yourself? That's a great question. Man, that's a really, really tough question. And honestly, I feel like some of my favorite ones I've let go. And it's tough to pick a favorite when I've made so many, and so many means something to me in so many different ways. So it's weird. Some of the pieces, I rarely keep pieces for myself because I want them to get out there. But the pieces I did keep, I think were from around 2012, and some of my first big collabs were with Snick, and we did some electro nuts and also salt, and we did the salted nuts, and those were just they meant a lot to me. as far as the progression of the donuts and, just working with people that I looked up to my entire career. So I kept those, and I kept one from each of those series, and I still have those. And other than that, I really haven't kept many donuts. I really like to just get them out in the world. Although I kept a Gateson donut, Gateson Rocco, another hero of mine that I was able to work with, and yeah, I had to keep one of those, which was pretty sweet. But I haven't kept anything lately. It's meant to be out there, so I almost feel selfish keeping it for myself. I want it to be enjoyed by numerous people. So, but great question. Grassroots. How many donuts have I made? Well, I started giving a donut bag with every donut in 2012. And since then, since 2012, I've tried to keep up on it, and it's kind of loose. I forget where I am, and I skip numbers a little bit. But right now, I'm right around 10,000 since 2012, which is just mind blowing. And the first donut I made was 2007. So, but it wasn't. My life wasn't just making donuts. It was making so much other stuff. And the donut was just a vision I had that I just really wanted to do. It was kind of a goal I set to myself, saying that I just would really like to make donuts. So, somehow, some way it happened, which is, so amazing. But back to this. So I took that color, I coiled it on this piece of tubing right here. That's like my handle, my punchy. And now I'm going to melt this all in nice and smooth. So the other piece of clear is in the kiln. This is my piece of color, really hot. I'm going to melt this smooth, and then I'm going to drop this into that piece of clear.
We have a couple more questions. What kind of torch do you work on?
This torch is a GTT Delta, and but I actually use two. I use this for most of my stuff, but I also have a 40 millimeter Herbert Arnold that I use, and they're pretty different torches. So sometimes I'll bounce back and forth. But so those are my two go-tos.
And then another question we had was, what's your favorite color to work with?
Favorite color to work with? Huh.
You stumped them.
Yeah, it's tough to say. Like the favorite questions I take really serious because it's like, there can really only be one answer, and I have such a hard time, narrowing it down. I really, really like chocolate crayon or grizzly. Either of those chocolate colors, I really, really enjoy. They can just be so milky, buttery, and it looks just like chocolate. So say one of those two. So you can see here, it's getting smoother. All the ridges are coming out. I'm not sure if you can see that with the heat, but it's getting smoother. The coil lines, which is similar, if you're doing ceramics and you coil pot something in ceramics, same thing, only with glass. But so I'm going to smooth this out. We're almost there, and then I'll drop it in to the clear. But this is how I start every donut. I've done 10,000 of these blowings. You know what I mean? It's crazy to think about.
Are there any new techniques you want to learn, or a specific technique that has eluded you?
I wish I could learn everything. But like the techniques and stuff, I look forward in the next year to working on the lathe a little bit more and fine-tuning my lathe skills. So I haven't had as much time on it as I would like. And I've had it less than a year or right around a year. So I think, you know, really building some techniques on the lathe is what I would like to do next.
I got a bunch of questions for you. Ruben was curious. Name one glass artist you'd like to work with that you haven't worked with yet.
One glass one I want to work with. That's a pretty long list, too. All right, let me think for a second. Because there's a lot of obvious people, you know.
I want to chime in. One really cool thing is that I've been with him for about 10 years now, and I've heard him answer this question throughout the years. And luckily, the answer always has to change because oftentimes he's been able to actually work with that person that he like wanted to work with.
That is very true.
So I'm very curious to see what the answer is now.
I mean, there's people like Banjo who, you know, I see the donuts and numerous donuts stacked on a piece. I feel like it'd be really crazy, and then I feel like that would be pretty cool. But then, you know, which is just like whoa. And then, you know, there's people that I just want to work with that I haven't been able to work with. You know, like Slinger, who's actually on this coast, and yet I still haven't been able to throw down with him. So, you know, it's one of those most things. It's like, man, there's a bunch of people that I want to work with, but I think Slinger and Banjo would definitely be top two really now. But you know, it's like to say that, even hearing myself say that, it's like there's so many people for so many reasons I want to work with. It's almost weird, but I'm just, you know, that's one of the best things is seeing someone else's vision of the donut and what it could be, you know. And real quick, back to this. What I'm going to do, this is all nice and smooth. So what I'm going to do now is drop this into the clear, and then that will make the donut color. I'm going to slide this over a little bit.
Liberia says, Sagan.
Yeah, Sagan, exactly. Like some moon donuts. Oh my gosh. So this is the clear I showed you before, and what I'm going to do is drop it into here. I'm going to take it to here, drop it into here like that. So that's what I'm going to do once this is warm. I'm just going to warm this up first. And this would be known as a blow-in, as far as the technique that's being used. Trick is to get them both to the temperature where they're accepting it. And Kurt B. I wanted to work with Kurt B so bad, and we almost had something lined up, and then this whole thing happened. And he was like one of those bucket list people where it was like, oh my gosh, like bucket list. And then, you know, all this stuff happened, and now it's kind of like up in the air. But, you know, it's kind of about, you know, setting those goals and achieving them. You know, you got to kind of just manifest it, work hard to make something happen. All right, so I'm going to drop this in here, and then the color will coat the clear. So now, as you can see, the color filled in all the clear. So I'm going to tear this hollow piece off. Pop that hole. And now we're back to just a piece of donut tubing. I'm going to throw this in the kiln
I probably made 70, 80 donuts on this one handle. I just keep reusing it. And that's just, you want to kind of be as efficient as you can working with glass, waste not, want not. So, yeah, this guy's been through a lot with me.
If it wasn't donuts, what food would it be?
If it wasn't donuts, I don't know if it would even be a food. You know what I mean? Like donuts, I often say I didn't choose the donut life, the donut life chose me. And it really did, I needed a job, and I was like, where's a kind of easy place to work? So I thought a breakfast place at night was genius, and how hard could that be? So I got a job at Dunkin' Donuts working the graveyard shift, and it developed into me finishing donuts, to baking donuts, to being the head baker. And then I ended up baking at numerous other bakeries in the Portland area, South Portland, Cape Elizabeth. And I loved it. And that was kind of what I was doing to supplement my learning to blow glass, because it's just so expensive. So that's where the inspiration came from, And it's just, if that wasn't my inspiration, I can't say it would be a food per se. I don't know what it would be. But the donuts have kind of always, been my inspiration in life. And, just taking what you're given and doing the best with it.
What's the coolest food piece you've ever seen?
Yeah, there's a lot of food pieces out there. Let's see. I really have been digging boots lately. The Glass by Boots.
Glass by Boots.
Glass by Boots. Shout out to her. That's someone else I want to collab with as well. I love her food. Her food looks so freaking good.
Strawberry banana donuts.
Yeah, she's been crushing lately, and I think those are freaking awesome.
We got more questions. Is it okay if I
fire fire away. So right now what I'm doing is I'm melting in, this is what's going to be the dough for the pendant. It's a really big piece, so I'm melting all this in, I'm going to stretch it down, and then I'll take a piece off of this, and that will be the pendant. So, update on where we're at. Do I still bake often? No, I don't. I can't cook, and I rarely bake. Since this whole thing happened, we started making muffins at home. And that's the closest I've been to baking, other than getting baked, in like a really long time. Sometimes I do miss it, because I did it for so long, and I did a lot of it. I'd work super long shifts every day, and it was great. I enjoyed it. But haven't done it in a while now. Yeah, this fish chair is fucking legit. I just gotta say, I can't remember where I got it, but holy cow, where am I? Oh, this thing's so great. So comfy, too.
And then who was your favorite glass artist to collab with so far? Or not glass. Who's your favorite artist that you've collabed with so far?
Favorite artist I've collabed with? My favorite artist. Man, I'm so horrible with favorite questions. I think... Give me a second so I don't want to rattle off a name. There's been so many collabs over the years. My favorite artist that I've collabed with. I mean, the weird answer I should say, is the time Voodoo Donuts made a bunch of donuts based on mine, which is kind of a collab because I was kind of the inspiration for it. And they were artists because they made those donuts look exactly like mine. And that was beautiful. That was one of the craziest, times in my glass career, was seeing real donuts that look so much like mine. But as far as glass artists, favorite artists that I've collabed with, man, I mean, Gateson's got to be up there, because that was just, when I first got into glass blowing, and I would read the flow, and I would see a picture of one of those universe marbles, and be like, wow, like, that's what's up, and never, ever did I think I would be able to collab with him. And, doing that collab was pretty freaking sweet. Meant a lot, like stuff like that. It means more than you can really say when you get to work with someone that you've looked up to your entire career. It was great, really, really great.
What's the largest donut you've ever made?
Whoa, good question. Good question. Yeah, let me show you. I'll show you what could be the largest donut I ever made. 'Cause I think it is, but there's some out there that are taller. There's some out there that are wider. I think I should go to weight, which I haven't weighed them yet. I'm gonna have Sarah hold this. You have that? And then this is one of the biggest. If you look at this next to my head, this thing's freaking huge. Packed with some super lemon haze, which I love. It's been my strain of choice lately. But this thing is sweet. I love this. It's enormous. I keep it at the shop. It's so big. Well, go get with it. All right, get this back in the flame. Go ahead. Throw this over here. So, yeah, I think that's the biggest. And I can measure that. I'm not sure how big it is. I'm thinking like 4 inches, 5 inches, 6 inches. I'm not sure. It's big, though. I think it's big.
Have you ever worked with Joe P?
I have not. But that reminds me. See, Joe P triggers Muller, and when I think some of my favorite people to collab with, Muller was definitely, Peter Muller, hands down, is one of my favorites. And that's where it's like kind of talking jogs my memory. But not only the work, but working with him is just so much fun. Such a great guy. And then just seeing the stuff we produce, it's just, I can't even believe I'm a part of it. Love his work. Just love it. Did I actually answer the question or no?
No.
Okay, what was the question again? I'm sorry.
Have you ever collabed with him?
No. Joe P, no. I definitely would. That's not by choice.
And we have tons of people asking about Donut Fest 7.
Yeah, Donut Fest 7, obviously, I'm not exactly sure what's going to happen with it. It's the first Friday in June, National Donut Day. I think it's the 6th or the 5th. I'm just going to see what things are looking like then, There's a chance it might just be online. There's a chance I push it back, maybe to a later date. There's a chance I do it online and, a soft online and then push it back to something where we can meet in person. Maybe I'll do it outside. I'm not really sure. But I am going to make a bunch of glass like it's happening because, I really wanted to. But people's, health is more important than anything. So I just want to make sure safety and people's health is the priority. And we just don't know what that'll be like in June. So I'm feeling it out. I'm going to give updates constantly on Instagram. I'll let you guys know. But I'd say worst case scenario, there'll be a pretty fun online drop and some dope collabs and some dope solo work. And that's worst case scenario, which should still be pretty fun. And then I saw Ruga asking, Ruga, what does KGB come from? KGB was a nickname of mine from many, many years ago. Like, kind of through all the different circles I've been in and all the things I've gotten into, I've always had numerous different nicknames. And KGB was a nickname I had at the time when I started blowing glass. And that time was right around Operation Pipe Dreams. So I started blowing glass. 2 years later, Operation Pipe Dreams happens. And I'm like freaked out to sign my glass with my name on it because I'm like, am I going to go to jail? So I was like, nickname's KGB. I'm going to run with that, and that's what I'll use for now. And I never knew if it would stick or what would happen. I just wanted people to know what they were getting without my actual name on it. So, and that's where that, there's a little more to it, but that's the basis. That's the basis.
And Another question.
But if you've seen Rounders, Rounders is a great movie to watch. I don't know if anyone's ever seen that, but I would check it out. What was that, sorry?
Did you grow up in Maine, or did you move there from elsewhere?
Nope. I grew up right outside of Syracuse, New York. In Liverpool. I've been in Maine, in Portland specifically, since I was 18 or 19. Right around 18, and I'm going on 41 this year. So, been here a little longer, and I love it. Maine is just a beautiful place. Like the people, the area, like everything's just great. So I can't imagine ever leaving. Maybe moving somewhere else in the state, but I can't ever imagine leaving Maine. It's just an amazing place. All right, stretch this down a little bit more. I'm going to pop a hole, punty up, stretch it down, and then I'll get to that pendant.
What's your favorite donut in real life?
Great ventilation. That's good ventilation. My favorite donut. This is finally a question I can answer. What's my favorite something? Because I actually know what my favorite donut is, and that would be a day-old yeast chocolate frosted plain donut with no sprinkles. I like the texture and the firmness of the donut. 8 hours, 9 hours after it was made. I was never a fan of fresh donuts. Like fresh out the fryer, people are like, oh, I love how soft it is, and I love how gooey it is. And I'm like, that's disgusting to me. I like it to kind of set and firm up. And so I like them just a little bit old, not stale. I don't like stale donuts. I just like it a little bit old. No sprinkles. No sprinkles.
And Marvel's Beast's favorite donut is strawberry frosted with no sprinkles. And it took almost 2 years of dating before I could get him to make me a donut that was strawberry frosted without sprinkles.
Yeah, it's true. Her favorite donut, real and glass, is strawberry frosted with no sprinkles. And it did take me a while, but when I did, it was more special.
It was very special.
So go for it. Yeah, day-old food for sure, man. I don't know why. It's just, So now, you see I changed my handle, and I'm just going to stretch this down a little bit more. And then I'll pop off a piece and make a pendant out of it. So this is where we're at now. It's donut color. It's still pretty hot. There we go.
Why do neither of us like sprinkles? I don't know.
I guess that's why we like each other, though. You know what I mean? As opposed to why we don't. It's more just like, oh, we have that in common. I never thought about that as the thing we have in common.
Yeah.
I think it's like, I don't want to say it's too sugary. I'm eating a donut, but that's how I feel. I'm like, yo, there's enough sugar already. I don't need something else on top of it. I don't know why. It's really weird.
I'm just picky. So what was your favorite collab between the two of us? Oh, I guess it's the Marvel's Beast subject.
Yeah. I think my favorite, there's a lot. There was an Aaron Brooks piece we did that was like a tongue coming out the back of a bell bottom with a piece of acid out, a tab of acid on it. That one was fucking sweet, and not many people saw that. I don't think we got good pictures of it. That piece was sweet. The Halloweens are my personal favorite. Frankenstein, Dracula, those are some of my favorites. What about yours?
For that, definitely the Halloween donuts. It's something where I just have all these ideas in my head, and it's just somewhere where I can spill them out. And each year there's one Halloween donut. So each year I have a new favorite collab, which was my favorite Halloween donut of the year before. So at one point it was Frankenstein, and then I loved doing the stab donuts. So I had knives where I would make it look like the jelly donut was all slashed and stabbed with the jelly oozing out. I think those were fun. Any of them where I can become a little hyper realistic, I think are my favorite.
Alright, so now I'm going to pop another piece off of this, and then we'll use that for the donut.
Oh yeah, the Jason.
Oh, the Jason.
The Jason 2 was really fun this year because
Yeah,
I was
it was.
able to do Jason and still have the stab donut.
Yeah, the Jason bong we did was amazing. That was kind of like a milestone piece. I'd say I think that's the nicest piece I made on the lathe. But yeah, that was such a sweet piece. Shout out to Chilla Bobs for scooping that.
Chilla.
I got the state of Maine.
We have a bunch of familiar faces joining us.
So where's everyone from out there? Where are you guys at? Gonna pop this off. So now I got a smaller piece of that tubing. So that's donut color. So now I'm going to stretch this down even smaller, and then we'll make a pendant out of that. Chicago, Boston, Fort Collins, what up?
We got Buxton.
SoCal. Cool. People all over, man. Really hope you guys are safe and healthy and, doing the best we can. We're all in this together, man. Love Denver. Love Denver, man.
Do you ever see your pieces again out in the wild after you make them?
Oh, man. It makes me so happy to see my pieces out in the wild. Like if I'm, wherever I am, if I see someone wearing a pendant or like a hat or one of the grassroots hats or anything, like it really makes my day. And usually I'll go up and say something, be like, hey, thank you so much. That's fucking sweet. But I love it. I love seeing it. What was the question?
Do you ever see your donuts out in the wild?
Yeah. I was like, what am I answering again? Yeah. I do. Not as I work a lot, so I'm kind of reclusive. So I don't get out too much.
But it's really fun when we're at like a fish show and there's a donut pendant and we get excited and we say hi, but the connection hasn't been made about who exactly he is. That's my favorite, seeing him out in the wild and complimenting, but someone not necessarily knowing who you are. Wow, we got some more Central New Yorkers. Utica.
Well, Utica, what up?
Cheers. And what do you think about how recreational has been rolled out in Maine?
Well, it hasn't. From what I understand, and I'm not a grower, I'm not that involved with it, but it seems like it's a mess, and I'm super thankful for our medical system, which seems to be fucking on point, and the local caregivers in Maine are just absolutely amazing.
best of the best. So thankfully we have that as an option. Hopefully they figure out, how to do all this recreational stuff. But in the meantime, our medical is amazing, and super thankful for that. So this little piece is going to be the donut. I'm going to pop one off of there. Trying to get rid of it for you. So it's half made. You get the donut shape. So now I'm just going to cut it off right here, right there, and pop a hole here, pop a hole in her, get it going.
When are the next pizza donuts coming? And what other foods have you integrated in your work?
Oh man, I would love to do some more pizza donuts. BMFT, love collabing with him. Great dude.
Another trip to Denver.
Yeah, to Denver we go. See, what other foods have I done? I've done marshmallows with Danny Camp. Those were pretty sweet. I've done some macaroni with Benjamin Glass out of Denver. He's the man. Just made me think of something else. And then I forgot it. Sarah and I have done a good amount of food. Worms, gummy bears, some gourmets, candy corn. Trying to think of other food ones I've done. Chicken wings, the pot wings with Justin Barglass. The tacos, the Choco Tacos with 603 Glass, who was living in Denver area.
Lions.
Oh, Lions, yeah, the lemon donuts. Those are freaking sweet.
And Oreos.
And the Oreo, that's what it was.
People are.
Yes, the Oreos. You guys know. Thank you. I space sometimes. So I'm just cleaning this up. And then that's going to be our donut right there. I'm going to put a blow tube right in that hole. And then pop a hole there.
And Cheetos.
And Cheetos. Rude boy. Love it. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, hey, I mean, this is really fun. It's cool. I've never done anything like this. So, it's cool to have people here hanging out, watching. So put that onto its own blow tube.
Do you prefer sculpting or hollow glass blowing, and why? And what's your worst break?
Oh man, I've had some breaks. I think I like hollow more, but it also makes me respect solid sculpting so much because it's tricky. You can't just puff something out, move it around. Like there's so much more to it. And I haven't done that much with it. So when I see Sarah sculpt, I'm like, holy cow! Like it's just it's very hard. It's very difficult. It's a great ability to learn. The biggest piece I ever lost, I'm not sure. I think I blocked those out, to tell you the truth. But I can show you in a second on my stool over here.
there was what I felt like was the nicest piece I had made up until that time I was making it. And as I was walking over here, you see me? As I was walking over here, it fell, and I didn't want to go onto the ground, so I tried to catch it. It burned my hand horribly, bounced off my hand onto this stool, but like it was coming to here, but I didn't want to burn the stool. I didn't want to go on the ground. I didn't want to break, so it was like my hand blocked it. It still kind of landed on here, and then I picked it up with grabbers and got it off. But trying to save the piece and the stool was most important. And the burn healed, and the piece made it, and just a small scar, and that's the battle wound of that stool. You know what I mean? Still so comfortable. Like holy cow, the foot thing's perfect for working. Really comfy.
And he didn't burn his bowling hand, so we were safe there.
Yes, and it wasn't my bowling hand, which is sweet.
Speaking of bowling, have you ever done a bowling pin with donuts?
I've made a couple bowling pin pipes that were like an eclair style donut shaped like a bowling pin, and made one of those for a friend. And other than that, maybe I actually did a run of little bowling pin oneies a long time ago. Excuse me. Probably like 2008 or 7, and they were really weird, but they looked more like milk jugs than bowling pins because the shaping wasn't the best. But yeah, I've been bowling pin donuts has been on my to-do list for limited editions. I want to do a run of 10 numbered, the 10 bowling pins, and I think that'd be pretty sweet. Anyone out there bowl? You guys bowl out there? I feel like there's some bowling in Denver. See a lot of glass blowers bowling, and it makes me happy.
And how many hours do you usually spend working a week?
Oh man, I could probably tell you how many I'm not, and that'd be easier. But shoot, I usually work like 10-hour days, 7 days a week. Since this whole pandemic's been happening, it's changed it a lot. But prior to that, I'm kind of just a machine, and I'll take a few days off here and there, and regroup and enjoy life. But I love doing this so much. I can't even imagine how many hours. I'd say well over 70. I say 10 hours a day, 7 days a week, but I'd probably say more than that in all honesty. But it's out of love. I come here to work, but I come here to relax and to think about life, and it's just really great. It's a great thing to have in your life. Melting glass. So, to jump back in here, we got a donut pendant. Bam. How long does it take to make my average donut pipe? Well, like you could see, just the prep for this took about a half hour, and then I'll get a few off of that. So I think they're right around an hour or so, give or take. But then, like as soon as you get into larger donuts, rigs, tubes, you're in numerous hours. So it really does depend on the piece. Just sprinkles and drizzle can add, a ton of time. I'm supposed to just quick drizzle as opposed to sprinkle. And tonight, I think we'll do sprinkles. You guys have any recommendations on what to frost this with? Any ideas? I'm not surprised. Hold on, Liberius. Hold on 1 second. Don't go anywhere. This is a Size Love, who I fucking love working with. Steve Size Love collab for Liberius, and had to fix it. I think it looks pretty good. Boop. Get this out to you tomorrow, buddy. This is a great Sherlock. I love this style.
All right, so we have Azul. We have crushed opal frosting, crushed opal sprinkles, something sparkly, a G-spout drizzle, match your hat, that beautiful chocolate, orange, chocolate, guava, rasta.
I was going to show you this. So this is sneak peek at one of the new Grassroots KGB hats, which is frickin' sweet. I love this. I was thinking of doing this blue. Oh, so great. So thankful for you guys. Love this.
You have to take it off my head. I've been wearing it all day.
Yeah, it's very sweet, very sweet. Can't wait for these. Yeah, I was thinking, just thinking today about the first time I called Ruga and was like, hey, just this glass blower that makes donuts, and I would love to make a hat, And we kind of related on how we came up in the struggle, and he kind of took a chance, And I feel like everything has gone really well since then, and I can't thank you guys enough, Grassroots, Ruga, everybody, Max, you guys are amazing. So, thank you for the past however many years. What has it been, like 5 years? I don't even know, but yeah. So this is a teaser. One of them, I got some more teasers for you, but this thing is sweet. All right, so in honor of this guy, I was thinking of doing this blue. I got this blue right here that'll match it, almost spot on. So, and then of course we're throwing a G-Sprout on there for sure. All right, let's see here. Got sprinkles all laid out. Got some frosting colors laid out. So, the way I do the frosting is I literally just draw with, small pieces of glass on top of the donut and melt that in. So it's very similar to like watercolors, where the paint is dry until you get it wet, and then you can actually paint on it or paint with it. So once I get this glass hot enough, it'll start moving, and then I can just apply it around. And then as soon as it cools, it's stiff, and that's where it is. So what we're going with, we're going to go with the blue raspberry, some sprinkles, and a G-Sprout. And I think that'll be pretty sweet. Yeah, and I'm pumped that one of you viewers gets to take this home, and I'll be able to ship it out tomorrow. Love giving stuff away. If I can make a living on just giving shit away, I would. Shit. Have a seat for this because it's a lot of small flame stuff. I'm going to warm it up slow. I'm going to go around with the frosting.
Another question I had. Do you usually listen to music while you work? And if you do, what do you listen to?
Definitely love listening to music while I work. I go through a lot of phases. Like right now, I'm watching like a 102195, which is on YouTube, a fish. Great show. Great show. But yeah, I prefer music. We do podcasts sometimes. Sometimes I watch TV. But I listen to a lot of Fish, Mo, STS9. Back in the day, like when I listen to STS9, I flash back to like 2002, 2005. And where I was at my Glass career, listening to blasting, like just so loud STS9, I had some crazy breakthroughs with technique and what I was making. And so when I hear that, it always triggers that and like gets me excited and like, I don't know, it's really good for my creative juices. But and then I also, I love like a lot of hip hop and whatnot as well. So kind of always mixing it up. Also listening to like Trap It in Japan. Not sure if you're familiar with those, but pretty mellow mixes on there. Just filling in the frosting.
Are there any TV series that you're currently watching?
We are watching Cheers right now, which is kind of funny. Sarah had never seen it, so I don't think she was born yet. And I grew up watching it. There's a little bit of an age difference. And so, yeah, we've been watching Cheers, which has been pretty funny and really lighthearted. We watch Walking Dead as far as, like, shows we try to see each week. But other than that, I think Jeopardy. I think Jeopardy is our go-to show that we watch. We play along. We're pretty vicious. We're pretty cutthroat.
We sacrificed Jeopardy for the stream tonight.
But yeah, it's. I think that's the only thing I'd say we do regularly is watch Jeopardy. And Trevor Noah. Trevor Noah's the man. But.
Did you see Tiger King?
Yeah, I did. That was actually a great distraction the day we watched it. I needed a distraction that day, and it fucking distracted me. And we actually ended up making a Tiger King donut, and Sarah crushed it. She did so freaking good. It's on my Instagram feed if you want to check it out. But yeah, we collabed and auctioned that off last week, and she did it's so funny. Yeah.
Took me like 3 hours of sculpting and just drawing, and it was definitely one of the most labor-intensive donuts I've ever collaborated on with you on.
So I'm just using a smaller flame, a smaller torch. I'm just going to melt in the frosting. That's your frosting right there. I got the blue.
What is the favorite place? What's your favorite place you've ever visited? It's that favorite question again.
Yeah. I really liked when we went to Colorado and went to Mount Evans. We were on the top of Mount Evans. Was that hill, that mountain? That was pretty cool. Being up that high was really amazing. Like 15,000 feet. I was like, holy shit. That was pretty cool. that be my favorite place? I don't know. I feel like in 10 minutes I'll come up with an answer if I think about something else.
What about Amsterdam when you were 18?
Boom, Amsterdam. See, forgot about that. I was a judge in the Cannabis Cup when I think I was 19.
Okay.
I think I was 19. I went there alone, and it was amazing. And didn't speak a lick of Dutch, and got a lot of looks. You know what I mean? But it was amazing. Got spun, figured out like public transportation. I was really proud of myself. But yeah, that was sweet. That was a hell of an adventure. Like I'm like reflecting on that and like crazy. All right, so this looks like it's getting right to it.
You have another question. Diane or Rebecca? I don't know who Rebecca is. We haven't gotten that far in the series.
Sarah relates to Diane a lot. And I think when I think about it, like growing up, I was more of a Rebecca guy. However, I don't, like I'm still remembering like everything, so I don't remember that much. But such a great question. Yeah, I have to wait, like kind of like Sarah said, I have to wait for Rebecca to come back to be like, oh yeah, this is what she was like. I just don't remember because I was young.
That's a good one. What's your advice to someone who wants to start blowing glass?
I would say take some lessons. I never took lessons a lot when I was first starting, and I think that they actually go a long way. And practice, practice, practice. You know, if you are going to learn to blow glass and it's a hobby, I think that's how you should start off first, because just jumping in as a career is going to be a struggle. You know, mentally trying to perfect something and then saying, but I got to eat, and how do I make this? And that's kind of the path I went down to some degree, and it's just so stressful creating stuff under that kind of stress. You know, coming up with really good ideas and executing things when you're worried about like the lights getting turned off. So having some money saved if you are doing it as a career so that you're not reliant on sales is good. But practice, read Contemporary Lampworking, volumes 1, 2, and 3. I think you should read that before you even pick up a torch. But yeah, practice. Don't give up. You know, unless you don't want to do it, and then give up. You know, try it out first. Maybe try out renting somewhere before you drop, because it's so expensive to start. Might make sense to rent some time and try it out for a week or two and see if you even like it. Once I saw it, I couldn't stop. Like, it took a hold of me. Like, it just blew me away. No pun. But, yeah, it's just amazing. It's really fun. Just working with fire, like creating stuff. It's just, man, I never would have thought this is what I would do, you know? So, donut's good to go.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to blow glass, I say do it. You know, don't wait. Find a local glass blower, hit them up, bug them, go from there.
Got a couple questions off Instagram. What's your favorite strain of weed to smoke?
My favorite strain lately has been the Super Lemon Haze. I've actually been loving it. That's all I've been. Between the Space Candy and Super Lemon Haze, I think those have been my two go-tos for a little while.
Wow, we have a question about the heart hunt. Do the hearts for the heart hunt take longer or less time?
Way less time. The heart hunt ones are pretty quick.
That's actually a pretty good beginner thing to learn how to do. Just basic sculpting, kind of, you get it hot, you learn how glass moves. I think at some point we're going to start doing some lessons, and that's going to be like the beginner lesson. I think it's a great place to start.
Yep. And did you find any of the heart hunt? Have you participated in that, or did you just see it online? That's a fun thing we do. For those that don't know, on Valentine's Day, Sarah and I hide a donut for every year we've been together somewhere in the city. And so this year was 10 years. So we hid 10 hearts throughout the city. And then we kind of post where they are, and we let people go get them. And, it's kind of, it's fun for us to do, and it's a nod to the Valentine's Day Bandit, which is like this, 50-year-old Portland legend.
Legend?
It's a legend. And every year this group, or the Portland Bandit, goes around and puts paper hearts all over the city, all over businesses. And it's like the theory of it's hearts for people who might get a Valentine, for people who might not have got one. And I love the idea of that, So we kind of did our own little spin on it. And I think we've done it 3 years now, and it's just really fun.
Soupy Kingsman asked, have you ever worked with small-time artists?
Oh yeah, I've worked with everybody really. Usually time is the only thing holding me back from collabing with people, but yeah. Collabing right now with someone who's been blowing glass like 3 years, and he does some amazing work. Because, everyone's the same. We're all just glass blowers. We're all just trying to do what we do, get our vision put out there into glass. And hopefully it makes people feel something.
Oh, nice. The guy who asked about starting to blow glass, he said his college offers a course. Thanks for the advice. He might start taking it.
Oh, definitely do, man. Definitely do. You'll get addicted. It grabs hold of you.
All right. The person who asked about the hearts, yeah, they found 2 last year.
What? Good work. Good work.
And then some this year, too, with his brother.
We got a cheese sprout. You see that cheese sprout? A little weird to see. Got a cheese sprout in there, and now I am going to sprinkle it. Give it a little warm up.
And I'm just going to keep asking some of the questions off Instagram.
Yeah, definitely.
Might have already answered this. What's your all-time favorite piece you've ever made?
I don't know. My favorite piece. I feel like I've said this is one of my favorite pieces recently, and I can't remember which piece I was talking about.
Oh, that really cool one that was like that light blue with the pistachio color and pink and purple, I think.
I don't know if that was my favorite. I was like, that one was freaking sweet.
No, you've mentioned that recently.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure. I hate to give such horrible answers on the favorite questions. Um, so tough to say.
Do you prefer cake or yeast donuts?
Yeast for sure. Definitely a yeast fan.
When did you realize that the donuts kind of took off and that was going to be your thing?
I think around 2011, 2012. Because even when I got the bags made in 2012, I had to buy like 1,000 of them, like blank, and then I get them printed locally. So I was like, man, I want to be stuck with all these bags forever because there's no way I want to sell 1,000 fucking donuts. But I really wanted the bags, and you know, those years after, it just I would sell more and sell more and sell more, and I every morning I'd wake up, I'd be like, wow, this is so crazy. I can't believe, like, this is my job. It was like something I'd always dreamed of. I'd worked really hard to do, and then it was, So I'm not sure when I was like, oh, man, this is it. Like, I'm still, I don't even know. What was the question again?
When you would, like, at what point you realized, like, the donuts were taking off?
Yeah.
And that was going to be your thing.
Yeah, okay.
Before they took off, he always wanted them to be his thing, I think.
Yeah, like, it's what I was always shooting for, but, I had my head down, and I was working so much, I don't remember the fact or like the time of when I was like, oh man, this is it. But doing the bags was a sign of me saying, I'm fucking going for it. Like I'm putting my all into this. I used to have donut boxes, donut bags. And so probably right around then, 2012, I was like, this isn't a joke. I want this to be my jam. And I really started taking it seriously. And I think it reflected really in the work I was putting out and everything else.
Well, what about potato donuts?
Potato donuts, very Maine, very Maine. They're so heavy. Shout out to Holy Donut. I love the Holy Donut, but they're just really heavy for my liking. I like it a little bit airier, which is why I'm a yeast guy.
But he loves the chocolate sea salt Holy Donut, and he usually eats like a half of it at a time.
Yeah, I'll eat 10 of them a half at a time. Yeah, those chocolate sea salts from the Holy Donut are, you can't stop. You say you're going to eat a little bit, and you're just going back and going back.
And then a question again, how many bags have you done in total? Right around 10?
Yep, just over 10,000. I got to say, my favorite, if you're like, oh, what was your favorite collab limited edition donut bag? If that was a question, it would be Grassroots for sure. It was, I think, the most intricate bag I'd ever done was the bear, and he's all high. He's got a hat on and shit. It was pretty sweet. That was, I think, my favorite bag, hands down. It was so sweet.
During the time that you were at Royal River Glass, what was the coolest piece you made there, or the most interesting piece you saw be made?
Ooh. Well, I worked with Mr. Gray for many years, and some of his Cactadangle pieces were by far the craziest pieces I've ever seen made. Watching him blow glass, some of the pieces he made back then, was inspiration to me now. But, like, hindsight, holy cow, I can't even believe some of the pieces I saw get made. But yeah, there was so many talented artists that traveled through there. It was an amazing studio to work at.
And Seymour says, do you try dough donuts? all vegan, super delicious, and creative styles. Where's that? We want vegan donuts.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that, but I am in it. Let me know.
Yeah, let us know where Dough Donuts is from.
Cool. It's a little hot. We got the G sprout. Got some sprinkles. So everything will look different as it cools. Yeah, I think we're good to go. So I'm just going to warm this up and then give it a quick little mouthpiece. Throw it in the kiln. It'll sit in the kiln for 10 hours on an annealing program. And then tomorrow I'll be able to come in and check it out.
What do you dream of to make next?
What do I dream of? I've been having a lot of visions. The donut characters, like the Drizzy I just did, I've been visioning some cool little donut dudes. Little donut with legs and arms. I think that's what I've been kind of dreaming about, thinking about. Like, man, this is what I think I'm going to do a line of, maybe for Donut Fest. I'm going to take this off the blow tube, throw it in the kiln.
Did this whole donut thing come from The Simpsons?
Oh, no, not at all. Like I was saying before, the donut thing all came from being a donut baker. And just getting super baked at work. I mean, I used to get fucked up. But just getting super high, sitting there being like, man, there needs to be a fucking donut pipe. And there wasn't one. I was like, man, this should be my jam. And that was before I could blow glass. That was just a thought that I had. I was like, man, this would be a fucking good idea. And thankfully, I figured out how to do it.
Do you remember the piece of glass that inspired you to blow glass? And if you do, what was special about it?
I remember this pipe that I had working at Dunkin' Donuts. And it had to have been like 1999-ish, 98. And it was an inside-out sidecar that had some red on it. And it was so crazy that there was red, because like there's so limited colors and everything. I was like, holy shit, this has red. Like anything's possible. And I don't know if that was the piece that made me like want to blow glass. I think it was watching some friends blow glass in Vermont that showed me that I wanted to blow glass. And Nick Glass Dude, I think it was him, watching him work, and it was he used to make some cool donut pieces, not like frosted, but just like donut shaped. Watching him work back in the day, I think, really fed my desire to want to learn more. And I don't know if it was a specific piece, but just watching people work, it's really intoxicating. So, well, yeah, that's done. So, let's see here. Yes, sir. No, I do not eat a donut every day. I wish. I don't have them as much anymore, but I do sprinkle them in there here and there. I look to Sarah being like, is it okay if I have one? But yeah, so before we do this giveaway, I will give you a quick tour of the studio, show you where I work and whatnot. And then I got the kiln right over here, so we'll be working here. Looks like there's finishes in there, some prep I've been working on is in there. So over here is cold working station. Do some lathing, cutting, polishing. Over here is Mr. Santos, who is our resident blue tongue skink, who is not in the best mood today. He's just about to go to sleep, and he might be shedding soon.
Yeah, we can't get him.
But, say that a little bit. All right. So, and then over here is photographing. So then some of the new gear. So we're looking at, this is one of the new hats. This is pretty sweet. We're taking it in a little different different angle than we usually do, and I freaking love it. Love it. Pretty sweet.
And these are just the samples.
Nope, the studio is not part of my house. It's a few blocks away. I live in downtown Portland, and the studio is a few blocks from my apartment. Oh yeah, I'm happy you guys were able to check this out. Like, no problem, no problem. So that's one of them. This is another one of the designs. Let's see if I can get that. The lighting's not the best in here, but pretty sweet. Boop, boop, boop. There we go. But I'm digging this. I'm digging this print. This donut print is nasty. So sick. So sick. I love the designers over there. You know, you give them some ideas and they fucking crush it. The In Donuts We Trust underneath. So these will be dropping first week in June for Donut Fest. Really pumped. We got the dad hat with a little space action. I think this is freaking sweet. Then we got some spacey donuts up in there. Yeah, grassroots team crushed these. Then we got some new winter hats coming, which I'm really pumped on these. Yeah, and then, so this is a little big for me. It's the new double-sided hoodie. It's a little big, but I'll give you a taste of it. So this is just sweet. Yeah, big fan of this. Pretty nasty, pretty sweet. So this is the one side. And you have some sprinkles and donuts on the other side. Pretty badass. Really excited. You guys crush it every time, man. Every time. And this, everything plus even more, will be ready in June from me and Grassroots. And just can't wait. Yeah, oh, this thing is so nice. Like, very excited. Yeah. Reversible, pockets on both sides. It's really nasty. I'm loving this. Just the colors are sweet. So, oh yeah, and then more of the tour. I'll give you more of the tour because why stop there? A little food area over here. We are here so much you'd think we lived here, and so we cook here a lot. And then, as I was saying before, the lathe is right over here. And this is the lathe. I love this thing. Lit in HSA. It was built in like the 50s. So it's a very old machine, but runs like a champ. straight as an arrow. Yeah, so all the bongs I make get made on here, and hopefully be making a couple of those this week. Let's go over here. You can see the color that I use is right over here, and this color comes in rods. So from all the different companies, I keep everything right over here, so it's easy access. I can kind of jump right in there. Yeah, so that's pretty much the suit.
And this whiteboard was the only thing in this place when we went for a viewing of it, and it sold him, and he loves it, and it's the one thing we kept.
Yeah, I was like, there's a whiteboard, though. How can we not get it? There's a whiteboard.
All right, you want me to set right back up here?
Mm-hmm. So I think we're good to do the giveaway. Does that sound right? I'll take a quick hit. Yes, this place, we have so much space. Thankfully, we were able to organize it exactly how we want to do it. Do I take customs? Yes, sometimes when I have time. So it's always worth just hitting me up and seeing where I'm at. You just never know. All right. So yeah, let's give away this pendant. This is our final count. Looks like we have 58. So 58 entries. Yep. And if you are the winner, we need you to respond within 2 minutes to Grassroots or myself or on the chat somewhere. 2 minutes. Otherwise, we'll go right to the next person. And yeah, I'm pumped. Let's see who can get this. So I'm going to do a random number generator on Sarah's phone, and it's going to be between 1 and 58.
Did you want to answer another question while I get it going on?
Yeah, let's see. See some other questions. There are a lot of questions. Will the hats have satin liners and stash spots? Yes, for sure. Grassroots staple, and it definitely will. Favorite donut shop in Portland and favorite donut to eat? I really like Frosties, but they're not in Portland. Tony's is really good. I think Hi-Fi might be my favorite because they really crush the yeast donuts. So I think Hi-Fi. Dan in Maine, who's your favorite bowler? I love to bowl. Obviously, if you can see, there's a bowling alley literally 40 yards from the studio. So that also was a huge selling point in the shop. Favorite bowler would be Norm Duke. But of course. Let's see. What was it like doing work with Steve Sizlove? Man, and I showed you that Sizlove collab earlier. Amazing. Steve is one of those like genuinely good people and just so full of knowledge and really happy to share that knowledge. Yeah, and that's part of the reason I got that lathe is because I was out working with him in Indiana. So I was out working with him in Indiana, and I saw him working on the lathe, and I was like, wow, I got to get into this. So ended up coming home, and within a year later, I just kept looking for a lathe and finally found one. So, yeah, Steve's the man. Love his glass. Love him as a person. Man, great to collab with. All right. What did you make before donuts? I made everything, really. Stemlesses, inlines, dub bubs, dries, whatties, you name it. Would make everything whatever people wanted or whatever I was feeling, you know. But donuts were always what I just wanted to make donuts. So thankfully that's what I do. All right, I think we got the random number generator is generating. We got between 1 and 58. We're going to hit the generate number. Can I see that? We got number 17. So we're going to go to this list. We have compiled. Oh, you can't. I'll go to show you like this. So we got our list of comments. And number 17 is Muggsy Mester. I believe that's an Instagram. MUGGSYMESTER. And he had a question, or she, sorry. They have a question. If the universe is a donut, what does that make a churro? That is a great question. And I believe the answer is delicious. Because churros are fucking awesome. So, yeah. Great question, though. And the universe is a donut.
So is this person, Muggy Meister?
Yes, it would be him.
So we're looking for Brian. Brian, if you're watching live, try to reach out to...
Yes, reach out to Grassroots on Instagram.
Or right in the chat.
Or right in this chat on Twitch. Or however you are watching, because I guess Facebook you could do it as well.
Yep, and it looks like he's on Facebook.
Okay, so we will... It's 9:27. We'll give him till 9:30, which is a little over 2 minutes, which I think is very fair, you know. And then we'll go from there. Let me see if I have any other questions that we didn't get to.
Oh, yeah, he already responded. He responded on Facebook. So Grassroots has him. So congratulations, Brian. You got it.
All right, so we got it. We're good?
We're good.
All right, awesome. Congratulations, man. Love it. And, yeah, like I said, I love giving shit away. So, for people who are still here, if there is still people here, let's do one more giveaway. I'm going to go see what I have for stuff over here. Stay right here. I'll be back in 1 second. And let's give someone else something as well. All right, so we got these 3 mood mats from Mood Mat, and we're gonna give these 3 mood mats to the next person, the next number we draw. Can't be the same guy twice, even if it's a random number generator says so. So we're gonna give some other people a chance. So we're gonna random number generate a number, and it is 6. So we're gonna look to our trusty list at number 6. And it's looking like Kyle Frega. Kyle, and the last name is Frega. Yeah, 2 minutes, and these 3 are all yours. And his question was, what flavor of donut is your favorite to make? Maybe it's one you haven't created yet. What other flavors would you like to try? Great question. My favorite donut to make, I think, is the sugars. Jellies and chocolate sugars. Love that shit. Those are my favorite to make. And what's the second part to that? Maybe it's one we haven't created yet. There are so many flavors I want to try, like cinnamon. Cinnamon donuts would be really sweet. But yeah, the sugars, the jellies, the chocolate sugars, those to me they look so spot on. I really love it. Let's see. Funker33. Brian won. I can't remember his thing. He won the first one. The second one is going to be Kyle Frega, if we can find them. If they are not here, we are going to pick another name. Another minute or so. And again, thank you guys so much for watching, hanging out. This was pretty fun. And thank you to Grassroots, everyone over there. They're the best. I couldn't thank them enough for everything they've done for me over the years. And it's awesome. I appreciate it, guys. These are big mood mats. I like these. If you're not familiar with Mood Mat, check them out. He's the man.
Do you want to answer another question while we wait?
Yeah, I'm going to see another question. Let's see. How did I get into glass blowing? Well, I actually met some kids at a fish show that were selling grilled cheeses, and they were like, yo, you want to hang out sometime? And I was like, yeah. And I went and hung out with them in Vermont and watched them blow glass with no idea that I was actually going to do it. And after watching a while, I was like, holy cow, this would be sweet. And then one of them ended up moving up to Maine, and they were like, you want me to teach you? And I said, that would be amazing. And the rest is history. All right, Kyle, you got another minute or so, and then we're going to draw another one.
Let's answer one more question.
Do I know Jam Bear Glass? I don't think so. I don't think so. Let's see. Oh, this is a good one. Does blowing glass and bowling have any similarities? To me, they do, because they're both things you do basically by yourself, where the outcome is almost solely dependent on what you do. How much time you put into it, is what's going to result in will affect the results that you have. More practice, higher scores, more practice, nicer pieces. But also, like when I'm bowling, it's very zen for me. As soon as I get up there to bowl, nothing else exists in the world, and it's really great. And I feel like I get to that mindset also when I'm blowing glass, and it's just you're focusing on the glass. It's just you and glass, and when all the distractions of the world are gone, it's just a really good place to be, and that's why I love bowling as well. It's because I get that when I'm bowling. So, yeah, there are similarities, oddly enough. All right, I'm going to say going once, going twice. We're going to pull another number. This is 4-3 mood mats. 47. I can't pronounce this. I think it's Chels X 421. So it is Chels X 421. It looks like an Instagram name. And yeah, if you were applying 2 minutes, you got these mood mats. Chels 421. That looks like you. Awesome. Congratulations. I think I can get your info if you... I don't know how to get the info.
Well, we can grab the info because we are friends with her on
Instagram?
On Instagram, yep.
All right. We will get your info, and I'm going to get you 3 brand new mood mats out the door tomorrow.
Just look for a DM in your Instagram, and we'll reach out.
Oh, I'm sending you a donut tomorrow. Oh, that's hilarious. Awesome. Well, then I guess I'm going to add this in there. I'll look at the name. Where are you from? Just because some of the addresses, I'm like, oh, like what state? Oh, no problem. Thank you. Well, I'll be sure to get this out with your package tomorrow. Awesome. Love it, Mass. Cool. Yeah, well, tomorrow is mailing day, and I will be sure to add these to that. Yeah, so I think that's going to do it. Thank you guys so much, and maybe we'll have to do this again, because this was pretty fun. And hope you guys stay happy, stay healthy, and be well. All right, see you later.